Alright guys, what is going on everyone? It's your boy Eisen back with another Dokkan battle video. Today we're going to be taking another look at LR JIREN, and this time we're going to be taking him on the Gogeta fight. Not much else to say, we're doing the same setup as last time where we're running him as a double leader with Topo, Goku, and Evo. And other than that, the initial thoughts on him, he does do pretty good damage. He is a little slow, he's definitely a little slower, but he does do pretty good damage, and he is really solid defensively in slot 2, not really a slot 1 unit, but that's not necessarily a bad thing about him, considering that he is paired with units that are able to go slot 1, since we've gotten a lot of those over the past few months, such as Topo, UI, MUI, Evo. Any of those units you can put slot 1 for him, and he'll be perfectly fine in slot 2. Obviously here we put one in slot 1 and one in slot 3 because we got double rotation leader, which has been happening to me every time I've tried to run this unit for some reason. Just every single time I get double leader off the bat. It's really annoying. Wish we could just choose our rotations in Dokkan, but you know, here we are. Year like almost 10 and we still can't choose rotations, and we have to deal with the RNG of that on top of everything else. But it is what it is. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. If you guys enjoyed the last video as well as you think you'll enjoy this one, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciated the feedback on the last video. We're going to be taking some of that into consideration to try and improve the video quality. As well as, if you guys wanted to join the Discord server, that link is also in the description down below. And pretty much just chill in there and hang out, get a couple feedbacks, as well as just talk generally about the games on top of getting maybe video suggestions. So if you guys are interested in any of that, you guys can go ahead and join the Discord server and we can chat in there. Other than that, hope you guys are having a good day. Here we have UI just doing UI things, linked up with Evo on JIREN's team, which is a 200%. Everybody on the team is on a 200% because JIREN himself is a 200% leader for Universal Survival Saga, as well as for Universal 11. So everybody on here is going to be at a 200%. Here we have the first rotation of JIREN actually being with UI, and we are just going to straight up go into his standby. UI won't be able to do his domain for a while because I believe it's 5 turns from his first entry and he was slot 7. But since we have the rotations as we do right now, we're going to be going through the event a little slower, which will give us time to get both JIRENs transformed probably. That is one thing that this event will cater to JIREN a lot more than the Evoken fight that we had in the last showcase, is that this event is a little bit longer, and that'll allow you to not only get both JIRENs out, but also just see him over the course of a little bit longer of a fight where he doesn't keep his scouter and everything like that. And hopefully we can get him some more super attacks overall. Because if we can get him more super attacks, we can see a higher attack stat, since every time he gets supered, he infinitely raises his attack up. I don't know if you guys use Twitter or not, but there's been a lot of different clips going around Twitter of JIREN with a variety of attack stats. People have gotten him up to 50 million, some have gotten him up to 70. On a super glaze setup where he has like a bunch of support, he can even get up to like 120 million, which is just absolute insanity when you consider that he's guaranteed crit 120 million. Which realistically is like 240 million damage while taking double digits from pretty much everything. He's a very, very good unit. But he is very slow compared to the other units that are around him as well. But that doesn't really stop him from being any much worse or any better than he is right now. For the current content, he is just phenomenal. His teams are also phenomenal. I mean, look at the setup we're running here. All of these units are pretty much top tier. We will go ahead and get... I don't think we actually have enough orbs, so we do have to grab them first to get full power. And then this should give us full power JIREN. There we go. Luckily, the super attack is in slot 2 as well, so we can just grab this. We will just float Topo out and have him come back next rotation, which isn't a problem. Luckily, Tech UI doesn't do too much damage when he's in his base, so JIREN will just be able to get the hit off. Another thing that Jiren has is once he is in full power, he does have a guaranteed stun on his 18 key. So if you're running him on the Cell Max fight, he'll just guaranteed stun Cell Max every turn once he gets to the point that he can be stunned, which is another useful thing. Jiren is just absolutely phenomenal on Cell Max. Him being AGL, as well as him having the damage that he does and the defense and getting buffed for super attacks, and Cell Max also can be a longer fight. Well, Jiren did not get supered because Jiren killed the boss, so it happens. We will go ahead and stand by here. I am scared of UI dying, so I'm gonna put... Realistically, we should just put Jiren here, which is what I'm going to do. In slot 2, Jiren does give support, but right here we really badly need him to just go slot 1. So we'll just go ahead and put him slot 1 here. And he will not die to this. Instead, he's going to take double digits. Potentially single digits. Yep. His standby, he's basically indestructible, similar to the 8th year Goku and Vegeta from the Majin Buu saga. He's very similar to them when he's in a standby, except for those guys don't support. They just tank and I believe orb change. This guy supports and tanks. Hopefully MUI just dodges the one attack and doesn't sell the run. It's always a possibility. Let's go. We do have UI domain, and I will pop it because I believe we will just one turn with Jiren and Toppo next turn. So I'm going to just let UI kill this phase right now, and we'll let Jiren do his stuff in slot 2. As you can see, the team just functions very well with itself. You have UI's domain buffing everyone. They have pretty decent links with each other, everybody. UI and Jiren share about 5 links with each other. Jiren with Toppo pre-transformation shares 4. Post he shares 5. With AGL UI he shares 5. With Evo I believe he also shares 5. Just overall very good linking team as well. And just an overall very good team. This could be the best version of this whole setup. But the other side of it, in terms of just using a USS setup, this could be the best. Because when you're running somebody like UI leader, obviously you can slap units like Beast Gohan on there and then it's just game over. You can't die. It's pretty much impossible to die when you're running like the best team in the game. Here we have UI doing some pretty good counter damage. Unfortunately, we did not get Jiren to get super attack last turn, so he is still just going to be at a 38 million attack stat. But the Jiren on the next turn should look pretty solid. And let's see if we can just one turn Gogeta here with this setup. We will go ahead and transform Toppo first. And we'll pop his active skill with Jiren being there. I don't know if that does activate Jiren's support. And we'll pop the Scouter here. Let's take a look at where the super attack is. It is off the bat. I'm not sure if I want to trust Toppo to tank that, because there's a lot of attacks there, so Toppo will eventually just lose his DR. But I also don't remember if Toppo guards outside of slot 1. You know, the AoE is after Toppo's super, but I would also rather Toppo get sealed than Jiren. This is a predicament right now. This could be the run. This could be the run. Let's let Toppo go slot 1 and probably sell the run, because I want to see Jiren attack more so. If this doesn't work out, we'll just go ahead and hop back in from the same stage to finish out the video. Okay, Toppo got hit I think twice before the super, so it'll take a little bit of damage. Yeah, that's a little bit of damage. Uh-huh. 45 million from Jiren here. He's getting the domain buff as well as the support from Topo. Pretty good damage. No additional super, but he did just do a 24 million normal on top of the like 90 million super attack he did. We still do die, so we'll hop back in to get a clear, and hopefully we'll get a... Hopefully we can get more super attacks on Jiren. Because so far we weren't able to get any super attacks on Jiren that round. And in the last showcase, we only got one attack on Jiren, one super attack. So we really have not been able to see Jiren like really get juiced because the teams are just too good. You kind of have to nerf your teams if you want to see that. And that's not necessarily the goal. We kind of want to show Jiren what he does with his best teammates with him, because that's what you're going to see most of the time. Obviously, it's not everybody has the same stars and rainbow. So other than that, everything else will be pretty linear. But let's see what Jiren can do here. We have both Jirens in the second rotation. Again, double leader. You love to see it. You absolutely love to see double leader. It is my favorite thing in the whole game. We just have UIs doing the UI things. But yeah, Jiren is himself a very solid unit. The fact that at his minimum he's doing like a 45 million there, and then if you don't have like the domain up, he still does like a 30 million attack stat with a guaranteed crit. If it wasn't for the fact that it is guaranteed crit, it would not be as good as it is. But it is a guaranteed crit, and that is why it is as good as it is. Like, even on that turn without Topo super attacking, we got Gogeta down to 2 health bars practically from just Jiren and Topo's active skill. And if Topo had supered, we would have just killed him right there with 2 units, because Jiren genuinely is putting out that much damage. And it's not like Jiren is bad on short form content either, as we saw in the Evoken fight. If it's shorter, you get more value out of his scouter, because the scouter is only 1 turn, but on those shorter events, that 1 turn can just get you the win. Especially when there's really only super attacks that can hurt you. On the last run, we just ended up getting unlucky because the super happened in the first slot. So in physical Topo got hit pretty hard and he got stunned, or not stunned, he got sealed, which meant that he couldn't super attack, which stopped us from killing. Here we will just let AGL UI get some build up. And then we'll stand by our other AGL Jiren next turn. And we'll see what he can do this time around. Hopefully we can just get like a slot 1 super or a slot 2 super, either one. Either one works. Alrighty, we do have Topo with him now. I don't know why I was talking about super attacks, like Jiren was already transformed. He is not. We'll let Topo take that. Topo will be fine in slot 1 here. Pick up all these orbs. And that gets us our guaranteed full power Jiren when he comes back around. Alrighty. Hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. We did have that little death happen at the end of the last run here, but you know, that happens. It's part of the showcase of what the unit is doing. You don't want to just cut out deaths just because they happen. Plus, it's not like that was Jiren's fault necessarily. If he had done the additional super, we would have killed. But that is just part of his kit, is that he has no built-in additional supers. He just wants to do one very, very strong attack. But we do have him built for full additional. He does have a level 30 additional, so he has a 60% chance to do an additional attack, and that additional attack has a 50% chance of being an additional super. Here we do have a revive. We are gonna avoid popping the domain yet. And we will just float that Jiren so that way he'll come back around and stand by with the other Jiren when we get to like the final phase. So we'll get like a super heavy support setup going on the final phase. And we can get a better look at Jiren. And this next round, we're just gonna try to get him hit by a super attack. Ideally, we might do a showcase on Jiren not as the leader and just run him on either UI's team or something else, because there's no reason to really run double Jiren. Like, it's not bad, but it's not necessary. Let's see where the super attack is. Yep, off the bat, we're just gonna put Jiren in front of that. And then Topo should be fine in slot 2. It's possible that he's not, to be honest. But we're gonna hope that he is so we can get Jiren to do Jiren things. 32 million here without domain up. Very nice, very nice. We did end up getting the additional super there, so 21 million. So in total, Jiren just put up around 100 million damage there with the criticals. And he did borderline one-shot the enemy by himself. He did dodge, but I believe that he does get his attack buff even if he dodges a super. I believe. Because in the last run, the very first run we did, Jiren did get a dodge on the super, and he did throw out a 50 million attack stat. And I believe without his attack buff, he's around 42. So I do believe that he does get the dodge off, and he still gets the attack buff. Now, how do we get to the last phase without killing? Is a good question. I am just gonna leave it as it is so that we can get Jiren around again. And hopefully we don't die. And if we do, that's fine, because we still got a good show. All right, 1, 2, 3. Please dodge. Thank you. And 4, and Evo should be able to take double digits from the super now. He is his max DR. Like, comparatively speaking, Evo right now doesn't have his active skill attack up, but he's shooting out a 20 million guaranteed crit into a 13 million. That would be 40 million plus 26 million, so 66 million. Jiren's first super attack does that by itself. Evo can obviously do another one, but so can Jiren. And Jiren's not obviously at his peak. At his peak, Jiren's throwing out a 50 million, which is 100 million. Yep, double digits right there. That's really good. Same thing with UI. Like, he's matching the damage that these EZAs are doing while being able to be unkillable in slot 2. These EZAs can also just be unkillable in any slot. They can go slot 1 or slot 2, but they're situationally unkillable in slot 1. Like, UI in slot 1, if he doesn't dodge, will die. Unless he gets a revive. And then Evo, if he gets like instant super, can just also die. Unless he has guard up from his revive. We were able to make it to the final phase here, so we are going to be able to show Jiren with a lot of glaze. He's going to have like 7 out of 7 links, the extra support. Hopefully Topo can go in slot 1 and not die. Depending on the attack pattern, we can see how that works out. That way we can at least see Jiren do 1 attack set. We still will not have a domain up, because if we had turned the domain on, we would have killed here. But that's fine. We are just going to be missing the domain buff. We will just do this and hope that Jiren doesn't get supered immediately. And let's see how much damage Jiren takes from normals here. He should be fine. Or not. Or not. This is what we get for trying to do a lot of damage. 380. Honestly, not that bad. 380 is not that bad. He does have a lot of glaze there, and if he had the domain up, he would have taken it even better. But 380 is not that bad. Obviously, that was us throwing the run, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes to get the showcase. But that's pretty much Jiren on the longer events. You try to get him his attack buff from the super attacks, but that's the most annoying part of his kit, is trying to get that extra attack buff. However, I would say you don't need it. It's cool to see it. It's cool to get him that extra attack and get him built up, but you don't necessarily need it to win. You just, he does good damage without even having it, which is what we saw in the last showcase. Just in this one, we tried to get him that extra attack so we can see him be a little bit more funny. It didn't really work out. Obviously, we got super attack placements and all that, ended up dying. But you get the idea of how Jiren is supposed to work and how he gets through. There is a couple new fights that are out against Goku Frieza and a couple other things, so maybe Jiren will shine on those. So we'll go ahead and revisit him on those fights as well. But other than that, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have any feedback, let me know. And with that being said, this is your boy Eisen, signing out.